Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Barakata. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to your Akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Raya with another video, and I'm going to be dealing with the mark of the beast, which is that microchip implant in your right hand or your forehead with this video. But it doesn't really matter where you get that chip implanted, because if you do get that chip implant, that's an automatic death sentence from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Brothers are constantly doing videos on this topic to show the signs of the times, and that with each passing day we're getting closer and closer to that mandatory implementation of that chip. And the first precept I'll be using is one we always use when dealing with this subject, Revelation chapter 13 verse 16. And he causeth all, that he being the elites of the Edomites, or the so-called white race, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And now I'm going to go to a video on activistpost.com, because even these heathens are starting to see that this chip's going to be very significant to society in the foreseeable future. Are you ready for your state-mandated brain implant? Brain implants are now a reality. How long will it be before you're ordered to have one to correct thought crime?
Imagine a future where everything you think and do is surveilled by an all-powerful state. You may not realize it, but we're almost there. It now takes a bunch of electrodes attached to your head to read thoughts. Researchers have translated brain waves into movie clips, and scientists have transmitted thoughts to each other. Studies have demonstrated computers can see what people are dreaming.
And this brings me to my next precept in Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. And even though it's for wickedness on the left-hand side, you got to admit that Esau's pretty damn wise, especially when using his technology. Because as we just saw from that video, Esau's now able to use computers to record people's dreams and show it back to them. And you best believe that Esau's ultimate goal for this is for you to get a brain chip implant and be able to send instructions through that chip to your mind to make you do what he wants you to do. Because the elites search the scriptures and they know that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai works in a similar way on the right-hand side, as it says in Job chapter 33 verse 15 through 16. In a dream, which Esau can now record, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and the slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction for what they're going to do for the next day when they wake up. And this is a wet dream for Esau, to be able to control people like zombies.
Computers have analyzed brain signals 1,000 times per second. In studies, computers predicted with 96% accuracy what a person sees. How long before they move beyond having to use electrodes to read thoughts? It may happen sooner than you think, through the process of biotelemetry. Either through implants or a form of technology not yet realized. However, last year a research group announced it had mastered the technology required, and within 5 years would be able to program a smartphone to read thoughts. A couple years ago, the Boston Globe reported the government will spend $70 million over a period of 5 years to jumpstart this technology for use in brain implants. This is being done under the cover of surveilling the mental health of soldiers.
And that's how Esau's going to sell this chip onto the masses. Look at how much of a benefit to humanity it is. We're able to monitor and help soldiers with PTSD. And the brother over at GMS Teach the Wise did a video where a crippled man got an implant in him that sent electrical stimulants to his spine that allowed him to partially walk again. And this brings me back to Revelation chapter 13, but I'm going to read verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Miracles such as microchip implants allowing people to walk again or get their sight back. This is all Esau's work on the left-hand side carnally, because as you know, Yahushai, who was working on the right-hand side when he was on the planet Earth, was curing people's blindness and causing the lame to walk. And since a lot of you people have bought into this atheistic evolutionary mindset of Esau, you don't believe in spirituality anymore, so you're going to be hearkening to get this chip and have some of those man-made miracles benefit you, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. Esau's got a lot of you people in a trick bag.
Scientific American reported that scientists are encouraged by brain implant technology to control depression and other psychological ailments. They call the process rebooting the brain.
Those miracles which he used to deceive the people on the earth.
Slowly but surely, the public is being persuaded to get implants for medical reasons, to head off a heart attack or detect the presence of cancer. In some quarters, it's fashionable to get an RFID implant in the hand.
In that right hand. And it reads, man becomes human Bitcoin wallet with chip implanted in hand, that they may not be able to buy or sell lest they have the mark.
The question is, how long will it be before it's fashionable to get a brain implant? Considering the ever-increasing tyrannical behavior of the state, from reading our emails and tracking our cell phones, to imposing myriad laws and regulations to shape our behavior, it's a sure bet this technology will be used to reprogram the minds of quote-unquote extremists. That is to say, folks who disagree with the state and act in a political manner to change it. I know all of this sounds far-fetched, but there are rapidly expanding precedents that show this may soon become a reality. Prior to 9/11, how many people thought they'd be subjected to unconstitutional searches and even molestation at the airport? How many people thought they'd be subjected to a radiation-emitting device simply to board an airplane? How many people thought they'd have to walk through a metal detector at a sporting event? More to the...
And we know that 9/11 was just a false flag for Esau to bring in these draconian police state regulations. So how much more severe is it going to be when this next false flag takes place, whether it's a terrorist attack or a economic collapse? That's going to be the perfect cover for Esau to make that mandatory implementation of that microchip to show whether you are for the system or not.
Point. How many thought they'd have every aspect of their lives collected and stored in databases, from medical records to chat room conversations and personal email? Look into the future and imagine this. You are convicted of spreading hatred and terrorist extremism for publicly declaring the Pentagon should be shut down, along with the Federal Reserve.
And they consider us terrorists and spreaders of hate speech. Because, I mean, GMS is on the Southern Poverty Law Center's extremist hate group list. We're known as black identity extremists, which this is not a color thing. So you see, they've got all the pieces in play to throw you men of the Lord into these prison camps, as it says in Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. For none of those things, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, which is Esau, shall cast some of you into prison for being a so-called terrorist or spreading hate speech, that ye may be tried, that hour of temptation, whether you're going to take that mark of the beast microchip or not, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Because some brothers will be martyrs in this truth, but as it said, fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer, and endure until the end, because you don't want to give up that crown and being able to rule in that first 1,000 years, putting this world back in order on the side of Yahushai.
Or let's say you've violated some law. For instance, questioning the Holocaust.
Which we do all the time. The Holocaust
The
was a
mandatory
hoax.
sentence is not prison, but an implant that monitors your thoughts, or reboots
Some of you shall be cast into prison where ye shall
the brain
be
to
tried.
think in a way acceptable to the state. Old-fashioned brainwashing and so-called re-education takes too long and costs too much. An operation lasting an hour or two will be far more effective and cost far less. The same procedure will be used on habitual criminals and others considered troublesome by the state.
Both small and great, free or bond.
I'm not saying this will happen.
So that's pretty much it with this video. As you brothers can see, we're getting closer and closer to that mandatory implementation of that chip, that hour of temptation. But as we keep saying, endure until the end, no matter what afflictions may befall you. Because if you do get that chip, here's your punishment. Not only are you going to lose that crown, but as we'll read in Revelation chapter 14, verse 9 through 10, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, Esau's a political, economic, or military system, that NATO EU alliance, and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, that microchip implant, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is Yahushai. And if you take that chip, not only you're gonna get killed, you're gonna get hit with one of these nuclear missiles once they start getting shot onto America from these other nations, as well as those so-called laser beams from the chariots, which is going to turn this American landmass into the biblical lake of fire from sea to shining sea. So brothers, just endure, and as always, don't take that chip. So with this video, I hope you sincere Akim were edified. I'm going to say a Baba Ball, Kwam Yasharala. Until next time, Shalom.